So F-Zero sold really well. Lil Stylus, I think we should make another racing game. But with who? I know just the man.
Hello, little Stylus.
Hello, Mario.
My history with Mario Kart is, honestly, I don't really know. I played Super Mario Kart originally on the Wii Virtual Console as a kid, but I never got super into it, so I don't know a whole lot about the game. But now with Mario Kart World coming out in just a couple days, I thought I'd finally give it a proper check out. And I gotta say, it really surprised me. Getting right into it, this game has 4 cups you can choose from: Mushroom, Flower, Star, and Special. Each of these has 5 tracks as opposed to the usual 4 that we see in later games. Starting out, you have access to the Mushroom Cup, Flower Cup, and Star Cup. We'll start by talking about these ones too. Mushroom Cup is very fun. It has Mario Circuit, Donut Plains, Ghost Valley, Bowser Castle, and Mario Circuit 2? Huh? Is there any other Mario Circuits I need to know about? Yeah. So despite this game having 20 tracks, there's only 7 of what I would call themes to describe them. As we saw, many of these tracks are remixes / sequels of previous ones. We got 4 Mario Circuits, 3 Ghost Valleys, 3 Donut Plains, only 2 Koopa Beaches. That ain't enough Koopa Beaches. I'm assuming the tracks are this way because they wanted to save on development time, but hey, maybe they just didn't have any ideas. Anyway, moving on, Flower Cup has Choco Island 1, Ghost Valley 2, Donut Plains 2, Bowser Castle 2, and Mario Circuit 3. Star Cup, meanwhile, has Koopa Beach 1, Choco Island 2, Vanilla Lake 1, Bowser Castle 3, and Mario Circuit 4. You might notice that with all of 3 of these cups that they each have a Bowser Castle and a Mario Circuit as their 4th and 5th tracks respectively. While I admire that this order seems to purposely mirror Mario's platforming adventures, it does make the cups a little more boring, I think. But hey, at least there's a 4th cup with a totally unique, some might call special course in it. So the thing about Special Cup is that you have to actually be good to get to it. Naturally, that sounds like a challenge. And, of course, I was not up for that challenge. Luckily for me, it's 2025 and Nintendo came to be my savior. They gave us an option to allow anyone to experience Rainbow Road as long as you have a Switch Online subscription. If we look on Switch Online, there is a special edition of Super Mario Kart like we see with a lot of other games. Nintendo released lots of these special editions of games onto Switch Online. Metroid, Legend of Zelda, Kirby's Adventure, and of course, Super Mario Kart. The main difference with these games is that they start with a modified save state, essentially, either starting you off at a specific point, or in this case, auto-unlocking all cups and modes. So just how is this version of Special Cup anyway? To be honest, I don't find it super interesting. We get the last versions of 4 courses: Donut Plains, Koopa Beach, Ghost Valley, and Vanilla Lake, and they're fine. Where it gets a little more interesting though is with the iconic Rainbow Road. What's fun about specifically this version of Rainbow Road is that it was an entirely fresh idea at the time, not just an alternate take on the same concept that we see in later games. No rules, no expectations, just pure creativity from the developers. And while it isn't my favorite Rainbow Road, N64, you have my heart. It is a pretty good track. It's a truly challenging course with its total lack of guardrails and super sharp turns, which makes you feel all the more accomplished after not just finishing the race, but winning it too. And that's something I still can't do, which brings me to a unique gameplay feature of this game, ranking in or out. This was hands down the most surprising aspect of this game to me, and also the most archaic feeling. The basic idea is that in any given race, you have to place in at least the top 4 to rank in for the next race, and if you place lower than that, you rank out and have to trade one of your 3 lives for another try at the race. I'm really glad they removed this feature in future games because even though you can still technically lose at cups today, this feels a bit too big of a punishment to me, and really reeks of that product of its time, Stank Pu. So believe it or not, I actually wrote that section before Mario Kart World was announced. So it was totally a surprise to me when I saw that the ranking mechanic seems to be back in the Knockout Tour mode. While I didn't care for the mechanic in the original game, I think Mario Kart World's take on this idea will be much more fun for players. Since there's a lot more of them this time around, you don't have to place in the top 4, you just can't place in the bottom 4, which is way easier when there's 24 players versus 8. It's also interesting how Nintendo is marketing this idea as if it's a totally new one, but that simply isn't the case. The more you know. For the most part, gameplay is super fun here, and what really surprised me was the developer's attention to detail and just how polished the game feels even this early on in the series. Take drifting for example. In later Mario Kart games, you have to drift to win. Basically, you have no chance if you don't drift. But here, I honestly didn't even expect drifting to exist just because how the game was designed. But it does exist. It's definitely not as useful in this game because you don't get any mini turbos, you basically just can carve around easier, and it's a bit hard to pull off effectively, but I'm surprised that it even existed in the first place, and it really shows how far ahead the developers were thinking, and what's cool is that they went really above and beyond here and gave players as many movement mechanics as possible, which adds a lot of depth to the game and makes it a lot more fun to play. Second, we have the rival mechanic. I played a lot of this game with Yoshi, and for the life of me, I couldn't figure out why Koopa was just so darn fast. For a while, I wondered if maybe this was like a precursor to Koopa the Quick, but I was like, no, that doesn't make any sense. Then I played Mario, and Bowser was super fast. This is just so weird. Why is just one character out of every matchup super fast? And then I looked it up. Each character has their own set of rivals ranging from super fast to super slow. In this case, Koopa was Yoshi's fast rival. This system makes the single player feel a lot more robust because besides picking your character based on their stats, which definitely aren't as advanced here, you have to worry about who your rivals are and their own special abilities, such as Bowser's Fireball and Yoshi's Eggs. I do have a confession to make. I do not care for Mario Kart's battle modes. However, I do think I'll get smited if I don't talk about it this time around, so here's a bone. Battle mode is known to be one of the most tense, most thrilling, most friendship-harming parts of Mario Kart. You thought hitting me with a blue shell was diabolical? I let you do that, but if you even think about popping one of my balloons, I'll pop you. So with that said, just how did battle mode get its start? Yeah, it's a very, very rudimentary take on battle mode. And of course it was the first one. There's 4 maps to choose from, battle courses 1 through 4. They're all mostly square, some with some additional tumors sticking out, and they're fun enough I guess. My only qualm is that you can only play 1v1 matches in this mode. So while it's a good way to put your skills to the test, it isn't very chaotic, which I feel is key to Mario Kart's identity. All in all, it's fine. Still don't care for battle mode though. Now there's one more thing I'd like to talk about, but it's a little big for this video. Have you ever wondered how Nintendo did this pseudo 3D look with Mario Kart and F-Zero? I did, and it led me down this huge rabbit hole of Mode 7 graphics and all of the other graphics modes that the SNES had. And if I had to learn about all of this, you do too. Join me next time for a bonus video where I'll be explaining all of the SNES graphics modes with one special caveat. I have to do it all using paper. Think I can do it? Think I can't? Let's find out.